Good morning and sliding into afternoon. I'm barely making it, but hey, I'm still here. So that's the main thing. So today we're going to do a stack and shuffle. This is something we did in the summer retreat. I didn't realize it's been a little while since I've actually explained stack and shuffle. So we're going to do that today as we create with stack and shuffle. And I'll show you some different colors we're using, all right? So with that, let's go down to the hand. And if you're concerned you're missing out, you are, because there's so many things going on right now, right? Including a special that started today. We can get double the rewards when you place an order, plus some goodies for me. So you have to check out my newsletter. All right, so this is a stack and shuffle that we did in our summer retreat. And people had asked me, we didn't realize I hadn't done this in a while. So we're going to do this today because it's something that's very easy and it's very quick and easy to make 4 cards. So I've started off here with and we're using Lily of the Valley. So I use this here, which is Barely Blush, and I'm going to take it, I didn't post it here, I posted it on somewhere else, that I wanted to show you how to use Blackberry Blush, and we're going to use Coastal Cabana too. Let's talk about the stack and shuffle, and I'll give you the measurements. I'm going to put it on Post-it note for you right here. So on the stack and shuffle, I'm going to leave this here so you can see this, you can see that, you can see what we're going to create. I've already cut it up, so I'm just going to give you the layout so you can get it. So it's all like this, it butts up just like that, and this is on the bottom and this is on the top. Now mine's a little backwards because I cut my paper wrong, so it was okay, right? The roll didn't end, we're all still here. We are all still here. So when I go and shut this is 4 by 5 1/4, and I put the measurement for you right there, correct? All right, so after you have the 4 and 5 1/4, you got the short side here, you're going to cut it at 2 1/4. So here's your right side at 2 1/4, and then you're going to take this here and you're going to come down 3 inches and cut right here. Now I personally cut through all the layers at one time because that way if I mess up, everything's messed up, right? Like this, I sat there and cut this wrong earlier and it was okay, it worked out. On this side here, this is the right side, which we got right here. So cut down 2 1/4, and there you go, there's our 4 sections. Now you can do this in 3 sections. I've done it in 3 sections before. Maybe I'll do it next week, I don't know. I don't think so, because I already got something else I want to do for next week to finish this off for the month. So this is a free class to go for the month when you place an order in my store. So it's in the comments. All right, so we have our 4 stacks. All right, let me get these out of the way. So all we're going to do is we're just going to shift paper around. We're going to leave this first stack alone. We're going to come over here, and we're going to take the top piece off and do it in here. This is our shuffling. All right, first stack, we just shuffled 1 over. This is our second stack, or our third stack technically, and we're going to shuffle 1 and 2. All right, and this is our last stack, and then we're going to shuffle 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. All right, so there's our stacks, and we've got one of all the different papers. Now you have to be careful because some of these papers, when you flip them over, right there, what you see right here, and the other side might be another one right there. For example, if you flip this one over, you have exactly what we have down there, right? So you just have to be careful when you do that. So I'm going to make the first card. So all I'm going to do is take the top of the stack, and I'm going to move this little Post-it over right up here closer to the top out of the way so you can still see it. All right, so all I'm doing is removing the top copies right here, and that's going to be card number 1. And I'm just going to put this over here to the side because we're going to make 2 cards, okay? And all we're going to be doing is doing just what I'm doing right now. We're just going to take the top layer of stacks or whatever we have, and that's what we're going to work with. Okay? So I wanted to introduce a different color because I do love the Barely Blush with this, and it's really nice. But I want to introduce something else, right? Because I'm sure you don't want to do everything Barely Blush. I can, but you may not want to. So I'm going to take this right here. And what I did is just to change the color a little bit. And the way I did it, people always want to know, I just put it right here to see how it looked. And see how that looks? It really picks up this. There's a little bit of darker color in some of these flowers, and it really picks that up. But I still didn't like the pink. I didn't like to go totally dark. So I'm just going, I cut this down to 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. I had to think about that a second. Right? Because originally, if you took just a quarter sheet of cardstock, it would be 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So we're just shaving off 1/8 of an inch on each side. So it's just going to give enough of the Blackberry Bliss, right, just to give it a nice little trim look without doing anything else. And then we're going to sit up here and position these up here. And again, we're going to have some pink. I butted those up together when I did mine originally. So I'm just laying it out here so you can see. And again, I'm just butting it up. And so this allows you to shift a little bit if you need to, right? I want to make sure just to get enough of the pink to bring out the pink tones here. See here how this looks Blackberry Bliss? Right in here, you got some little Blackberry Bliss. So we're just trying to pick up a little bit of that. Okay, so it's going to give enough of the color, right, just to pick up enough. And that's what I want to do. I wanted to get the Blackberry Bliss in there, but I didn't want it really dark. So I just did it where I could do my layers, right? And then we'll turn around and put a tag on here. So again, I'm just leaving this like just a little bit of color there, right? Just so you can tell that there's another color there that's going to pick up the pink here. I'm just making sure I get my distances about right. Yeah, okay. So you can do it any way you want to, right? It's all about creating and having fun. If you're not having fun, then I wouldn't do it. But for me, it's very enjoyable. It's very relaxing. And I enjoy like being able to flip colors around and do everything. So, right, we all do different things. I have other hobbies too. You'll have to share me what hobbies you have. So I do have other hobbies. I know there are days it's a debate, but I do have other hobbies. In fact, soon I'll be sewing. Okay, and see, this is real pretty too. See how nice that looks? But that's what that's what I used on the tag. So you have two 12 by 12 sheets that's got the opportunity for this color here. So that's a total of 4 12 by 12 sheets that you can sit up there and do that, get that color. And I'm going to use that for my tag. All right? And I'm going to show you. So I brought different choices here to show you the differences. And I might not have done another one of those. I'm looking at that right now. Okay. So originally, you know, you would think it would look great if we just did this right here. Maybe with the pink and with this here. And I really didn't like it. You might like it, right? And I even thought of the option of this here. I still didn't like that. Okay, so I did. I went back to my pink because I like my Barely Blush. So, but you may like the darker. I didn't care for that as much. So I decided to come back. And what I've done is, instead of the very vanilla, because it's a very rich color in comparison to just plain white, but instead I came back to what I did to begin with, and that was, we're going to go with the pink and this. And this is a DSP paper, right? So I didn't add any color. I just took beautiful DSP paper as it was, and we're just going to layer it up like this. Now, everything was put on dimensionals, so I'm going to do the same thing here. Keep in mind, right, vellum, you want the dimensionals behind this, so if you need to get it on now, just so you know where it's at, right? I'm going to spread out just a little bit, right? Okay, I'm going to put it down here. Then we're going to stamp the tag, and we're going to do the inside, and this card will be made. Now, the beauty of this, right, is that we can make 4 easy cards. All right, we're going to stamp this. I'm going to put dimensionals on this, but I also am going to thread the thread through here. So if you hadn't seen me do that before, I think it's just a nice little touch, right? I think the flowers are very elegant looking. And we're just capitalizing on that elegance, right? Okay, so let's get the twine here going. I know I have plenty of it. I made sure I have plenty of it today. Okay. So yes, we threaded this through before, and I just started at the top because I wanted it to be sure to be even at the bottom because that's where I'm going to make a bow. And I'm already thinking. Okay. So yes, we're going to come through here. I already knew that it looked wrong. The reason why I knew this because I've done it the way I was fixing to do it. And the problem is when you do, trying to get this thread to look right, this is basically what you need to do if you want to thread it through. I just happen to like to thread it through. And if I can't thread it through, I'll grab my glasses. If I still have issues, then I will just trim it off, or that's one, right? Trim off any frayed edges, or the other option would be is just to fold it over just like you were going to thread a regular sewing needle. Alright, so I'm just going to pull this a little bit because I know I'm going to need at least 8 inches when I go to make that bow. That's just the way it is when I'm live. I just have to I need extra. Alright, because we think we have to be perfect on live, right? And I am by far perfect. So why stress myself out? Right? Okay, so I think that's more than enough for me to make a bow. Alright. We're going to come down and cut a little bit extra here and cut this off. Oops. Get it through. Yeah, you can see that's DSP on the back side. So yeah, so it's, you could, right, if you wanted to, you could sit there and use a blending brush and create your own color. And maybe get something close. For me, it was easier to just use the DSP. Right? We can stamp on DSP. We don't think about that very often, but I have friends that do it all the time. Right? I have team members that do it all the time. I can't tell you why I don't do it all the time, but I just don't. Alright, so I'm not worried about it right now. I just want to go ahead and get this one. I can tie the string once I get done, because otherwise I'll be just messing with a bow after I keep on doing the other stuff. Alright, we're just like this here. Okay. Alright, and then we're going to go ahead and stamp on here. And it doesn't matter, we end up thinking of you. We got quite a few different little things that'll work, right? So I'm going to stick with, let's see, I like Happy Birthday. I just got rid of quite a few of my Happy Birthday cards. For those of you that have birthdays in August, now see if I will have to split it. So if you've seen it before, let me do this before. I just split it like this, and the birthday at the bottom. All right, now we're gonna try it out. We're gonna see with the purple, I shouldn't say purple. It's Blackberry Bliss. That's the dark richness you see. It's a regal color. So we're gonna see what we like. I'm gonna do it diagonal right there. So our second card, I'm not going to add the color. I'm just going to use the basic cardstock. But I just want to let you see this. So here's stamp off of one. Here's stamp off of a second. And then here's the stamp off of a third. Right? So I'm going to use the second stamp off. And actually I'm going to clean this off. I'm going to start with birthday first. Because I know from experience it is easier to go ahead and get birthday lined up. And then do happy on top of it. Yes, so yes, when I use Blackberry Bliss, it will stain your stamp a little bit there. That's just what anything that's got a red tone to it will do. There's some red in there with it. So I'm just doing it just as if I would do the other. Except I'm going to stamp off, right? And then we're going to come over here and stamp right here. So we still have the burgundy, we just have we still have... I'm trying to think here. We still have the color, right? Blackberry Bliss. Just lighter version of it, right? And then I'm going to just shoot right above here. And I just centered it as best I could, right, between the top piece like that. And we're going to clean this off because we'll use this again. And I don't want Blackberry Bliss to be mixed up with Coastal Cabana. I don't think those two colors mixed together would be great. Alright, so we're going to put this on here with dimensionals. And we're going to tie our bow and do the inside, and then we'll be done. But that's what I like about this, right, is you can get 4 unique looking cards, right, because the layouts are going to be a little bit different in color. In fact, I was trying to think, yes. So if you look at this first one I created, see how the paper's the same, but it just gives a little bit different look when you change and move things around. So I just want to show that to you. So let's get this bow here, and we can sit there. I brought the embellishments today. The original one I used white from here. So here's the bling here. It's real pretty. Real sparkly. Right? I like having some sparkle on a Wednesday, hump day. Only a couple more days left to the weekend. Alright, I'm just going to trim this a little. And then we can put our bling on here if we want to. Sometimes I do because I'm so used to. Personally, I've just developed the habit that I sit there and usually, once I get through with the front, with bling and everything and all that, I'll turn around and go to the inside. Just habit I've created through the years, right? You have to share me some of the habits you've created. We all create a little bit differently, and that's what makes the world go round, right? I'm going to put this right up here. And I could put something up there if I want to, but I'm going to leave it alone for the moment. Let's go ahead and get the you know what? You can't do the inside because I didn't bring the inside. Let's see if I got a spare part of something here, as I think about that. Alright, tell you what I'm going to do. Sort of did something like this the other day when I was at the senior home. Alright, so I don't have my white cardstock with me. So guess what we're going to do? We're going to take an envelope. Right? It's like, don't sweat the small stuff. When I was at the senior home the other day, right? We gotta keep in mind people have memory issues and all. And somebody messed theirs up. And it was okay. So I just went and grabbed another card base and cut it off. And so we're not doing a card base. We're just going to take an envelope here. And it just be 5 1/4. Alright, so this is what I end up with, and I'm going to take just a smidgen off the top here. Alright, so we're going to pretend like I have my cardstock. I'll have to do this twice, because I did that twice. Well, no, I'm going to do the next one. Okay, so I'm just going to sit there and put this in here. Right? So, if you don't have your cardstock handy, just take some white paper, a white envelope. Yes, I did. I just cut up that white envelope. Okay. And I'm just going to put it in here. Alright, we just do whatever's handy and whatever we have. That's all we do. And then we're going to take, I think we're going to take, let's see, here we are. So I really enjoy, I like to put this large Lily of the Valley in the middle, because it's cool, and it's something I can do, right? So we're just going to do a light stamp off like we've done before. And we're just going to do it on the inside, right here. And we're going to do it with Fairly Blush. I think we did this last week, and I think I showed you how dark it is, so I'll go ahead in case you didn't see it last week. So when you ink this up, right, now this is on the new magnetic stamp pads. So you can see there's the first stamp off. And then if I do it over here, it's very, very light. So light I can't even really see it. So I'm just going to tap this just lightly. And I'm just going to go ahead and go with it. And let's see there. There you go. Alright, and we're going to have that subtle image right there down the middle. And as it gets a little darken as it goes along. And then we have our first card done. Okay? So I don't want it too dark because it's already going to darken with time. Okay, because it doesn't dry as quick as our ones that we do now that we have. So you have to keep that in mind. Alright, here comes the next card here. We're going to use Coastal Cabana, and we're going to do the same thing. So I'm going to take the next layer off of my stack. We're just taking the top layer off. And this is what it's going to look like. Now this one we don't have to worry about, right? So the key to it is, right, they should all look different. If they look the same, that means you didn't do your shuffle correct, or you grabbed the wrong one. Let me set this out of the way a second. So I'm not going to cut another envelope up. I just showed you how to do that. We're just going to show you the end. I just want you to see the different look you get and different colors, you know, when you use them. So when I lay this down, I just start off as if it was just a full 4 by 5 1/4, right? Making sure I had the distance from my edges, and then I'm just going to butt these up next to it. So the key to it is the first one you put down, you want to get it in the position that you want it, and everything is just going to follow suit. So I'm going to do the same thing here. See how this is going to just butt up and do that. And then if you did, you know, if you were off just a little bit, then just nudge it over a little bit, right? Because the thing is by the time we put the sentiment in the middle, you're not really going to see that much, right? It can cover up anything that you might have a gap or something in the center. So if you had any gaps or issues, I would do it in the center knowing that the sentiment's going to cover it up. And I'm just going to butt this right here. And see, I'll scooch this one over just a little bit more because it looks like I got it a little too much to the right. But see, if you use glue, now we discussed this yesterday when we did, there's a couple of friends, they were out of town when we did the Christmas in July, so I worked with them and we got together and we took care of that. So this is just, I want to show you what the difference in color. Now I like this better. I thought the Blackberry Bliss on the other card was too heavy. And I'm going to layer this one up just the same way, and then I made sure to capture just a little bit of green when I did this. And this is a DSP. It's not anything that is stamped. It's just straight from the DSP. So let's go ahead and put this up on dimensionals. Yes, if you're out there, leave a comment. I can't tell today if you're out there and commenting or not. I'm going to put these on back right here. So you have to tell me which color you like the best, right? It's all about choices. Again, we're just going to put these toward the center, just like we did the other one. Now, you know, I just put, yeah, that's going to be on this side. I had to think about that a second. Right? You have to think about it. Alright, so I'm going to put this right here. Okay, and then let's go ahead and stamp this with Coastal Cabana, and then we'll leave this on and we'll put this on there. Alright, so I'm going to do the same thing I did before. Now, when you look at here, because I've got the flower, the vine there from the Lily of the Valley, I'm going to make this over here just a little bit above it, because I can, right? Coastal Cabana, we have choices just like we did the other. Here it is at its regular color, and here it is at Stamp Off. So it's really, when you see that Stamp Off, it looks very, very much similar to, let me get that H there. So this one, I'm having the H giving me problems. Just doing it again. Okay, yeah. So your second Stamp Off is almost Pool Party. That's what it pretty much looks close to, just FYI. Let me clean this off. And that would be Pool Party. Let's try making sure you get ink on it 3 times, right? 3 taps there. Alright, so we're going to do Happy first on this one because I want to make sure I get above. Now I'm going to use just the regular stamp, the first one, right? The only thing I want to make sure of is I know that H, for a reason I'm not capturing it very good. So I just want to make sure I mash down that H and get it there. Got a little extra there in between, but that's okay. It looks like I deliberately did it that way. Alright, and then we're going to get Birthday here. Then we're just going to roll it. You can mask it off if you wanted to, right? But I'm just rolling it. And I'm just going to get it as close to the edge I can. Yeah. And then that's going to capture it right there. See, I got it right above and right below. And actually, this one almost I put some bling in between because I can, right? Or to the side. So let's get this on here. Again, we're just going to use dimensionals. And I might use this blue one this time because it really goes nice. When I say that, I'm talking about the bling here. See how nice it goes? Coastal Cabana. I'm going to use the Coastal Cabana. Alright, so I'm going to put this here. And yes, I am going to feed the twine through here again, and I'm going to do it first. You'll do the same thing, right? So no, you'll have to tell me what you think, because this is Coastal Cabana on here. So you can see what difference it is. This one was pink, and then we have the other one here that is just like this right here, right? So you'll just have to let me know what you like best. I'm going to trim this off because it's already fraying from a while ago. Alright. So yes, this is almost like a threading exercise, right? Alright, get that through. You know, it's a little sparkle. We're just going to get a little sparkle in here. So yes, right? So when you spend $75 in my, $50 I think it's, I'm not sure. You have to look below, whatever. If you spend in my store, I think it's $50 or more, right? You'll get this as a free class to go. If you spend $75, you're going to get the product of the month for $5. And today, tomorrow, and Friday, you're going to get double rewards. So that's always fun. Alright, let's cut this off down here. Get this little bit through here. And yes, I still have one. If you are interested in bingo, Beach Party Bingo, I have one kit left. It doesn't matter. Yeah, if I can also just email you the bingo cards. Two, you'll still get a package. But anyway, I still have one kit left. One. And then what we have coming up, right, is the Halloween mystery box with a silly old bear. And it's out there too, so you can sit there and get that information. So yes, so you know what, if you want my newsletter has all the updated stuff. If you'd like me to send you the newsletter that just recently went out that had all of that stuff, just put newsletter please, and I'll get that to you. Alright, so you'll just have to let me know what you like the best, right? So I'm going to come back later and I'll put white cardstock on the inside, and we'll sit there and stamp the Lily of the Valley on the inside too. If you wanted to, right, you could easily trim it off with some leftover pieces of 1/4 of an inch by whatever you want it to be on the inside. Let's start with this side. That's always a nice little touch too. But I really like stamping the Lily of the Valley. Okay, let me trim this off just a smidgen. I'll do a smidgen. Let me see. I'm just trying to make sure they're both the same, about the same, right? That's all I'm trying to do. About the same. Alright, so we have this right here. Let's get our bling on here. I love this bling. Alright, we're going to get this here. See how pretty that is? Just a pretty color. And actually, I'm just going to put another one right up here. Let's get another big one here. Right there. And if that isn't enough for you, go ahead and you put plenty more, right? You put 5 on there. We just always do it in odd numbers. Alright, so let's see what we got today. Here's the 2 that we made today. And then here's the one I originally made for our retreat. So you have to let me know which one you like the best, right? Instead of it being a this or that, you almost got like an A, B, or C. So I hope you enjoyed that, right? Stack and Shuffle is just a great way to use beautiful paper that you love and to sit there and make cards quicker and easier, right? 4 cards with 4 sheets of 4 by 5 1/4 sheets of paper, and you have 4 easy cards. All right, with that, I want to thank you for supporting us not only here, but also on YouTube and Instagram. And with that, have an amazing week, and look forward to seeing you next week when we do our last Lily of the Valley card for the free kit to go. All right, be blessed. See you soon. Bye.